So, I got a compressor. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because Michael here, show them your face, motherfucker.
Now go fuck yourself.
Michael said that I'm not going to get my Black RX-7 done in like a year and a half. So what am I doing? I'm making moves. Look at that shit. You know how hard that was
Pretty
to get
big.
in there?
That looks, yeah.
It was impossible. It was stupid hard. But this is the first fucking step. Because now, I can finish the Eclipse, I can finish the white RX-7, and I can finish the black RX-7. So fuck you, Michael. You're eating that fucking shoe. It wasn't easy, dog. I gotta lift it over my fucking shifter and the e-brake.
Yeah. Did you just put that seat down all the way? Yeah.
Oh, you're skinny.
Looks heavy. Should have did this on flat ground so you didn't have to like.
I know, that was probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I totally thought of that right as I
put it in first or
to
something.
Put the e-brake down to get it in there, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're here now, so
it's whatever, I guess.
I got the best $200 air compressor I could find at fucking Harbor Freight, and it was on sale.
Wasn't that $800?
The one I wanted was.
But wasn't that the one that was?
But all that I need
sale?
to fuck you is this thing.
Can't wait. Don't hit the car.
That's a big boy. I got hose too.
Is that a Tim Mcgraw air compressor?
What?
Is that a Tim Mcgraw air compressor?
Tim Mcgraw air compressor. Hell yeah. Knows how to hold a grudge.
What the fuck?
So what do you think, Michael? Think it's gonna get done?
No.
No?
No.
Even though I'm making moves?
No.
Nothing?
It's a little better, but you know.
Oh, you'll see. You'll be riding around a 300 horsepower fucking monster
Yeah.
pretty soon. Pretty damn soon. Fuck you. I've been talking about getting an air compressor for a long time, but I really kind of shot a little high on my hopes because I wanted the Eastwood, the scroll compressor. That thing is badass, but it's like $2,700, and there was no way I'm gonna be able to afford that. So in the meantime, $200, Harbor Freight. Fuck you, Michael. You're a bitch.
Well, I'm glad I could get you to finish all three of your cars.
Oh yeah.
Finish all these bastards.
All of these bastards. The goal is
These
two are going to be done before the lease is up.
Man, I'd like to see it.
So
Before the lease is up?
Before the lease is up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
My plan is to drive that RX-7 to the next house. That's my goal.
What about your Eclipse? Where are you doing that?
That's going to be fucking sold. I'm not taking that to the new house. I don't care if it leaves here, driving to somebody else, or on the back of a truck to pick pull. It's out.
Never sell it to pick and pull? You just don't give a shit?
If it comes down to it, yeah, oh yeah.
Why don't you do that before? You just have this.
Well, because I wanna fucking
Try to do
I
it.
want to try to sell it, and like get it actually looking okay enough to sell. But if it comes down to it, and like I'm reaching crunch time, I'll call pick and pull and have them pick them up. I don't give a fuck. I don't think that's how you're supposed to open these, but
Yeah, I fucking saw that you were gone. I was like, that motherfucker did have to work today.
no.
And then I saw your snap and I was like, ah.
Look at that little baby boy coming out of his mom's womb.
Probably could have done that Not so manual.
That's the only way I know how to do things, Michael.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I was born.
Yeah, okay. Just grabbed from the belly, just ripped out. Lift from the legs. Why?
You want to hold that bitch up?
Yeah.
Alright, so I got an end on my hose. So now, the tank's full. I can go ahead and hook up the hose to the tank. Bingo bango. And start opening this bitch up. Let's get this bitch going. Alright, so I just got the air compressor into its final resting place. I cleaned up the shop a little bit. Now it's time for part of the video that you guys are actually here for. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what's actually wrong with the RX-7. If you guys remember, what happened was basically I was driving, I was stopped at a light, and all of a sudden when I started to go, it just wouldn't go. And I tried restarting the engine a couple times, and it kind of, you know, like wanted to keep running but sputtered out. And so from the sounds of it, I think it's apex seals, because the way that it was cranking kind of sounded like it had low compression. We'll see. I think the first test that I'm going to do is I just took out the two bottom spark plugs on it. And what this is going to let me do is it's going to let me rotate the engine so that it'll build compression until it gets to the spark plug hole. And once it does, it should give me a pulse. This is a pretty, you know, fast and dirty way to check to see if you have compression. Normally, you'll hear 6 pulses within the span of 3 rotations of the engine. And that should show you that all 6 faces of the rotors are actually building compression. And usually if an apex seal goes, you'll lose 2 of those, so you'll only get 4 pulses. And then depending on what else, you can lose more depending on, you know, other stuff that fails inside of there. But yeah, so this is just kind of a preliminary step. I'm gonna see basically with this, if I find that there's good compression, I can do a full compression test and see if there's some other reason that it's running like shit. If I do find that there's no compression, engine has to come out. And that's basically kind of the point that I'm at right now. And I want to see if I can do anything to fix it while it's in the car. And if it just doesn't have compression, then I'll know that I need to start saving up for a rebuild kit. So yeah, spark plugs are out. I got the fan out also because that'll give me access to the front pulley on the engine. You can see it right down there. So I'm going to start turning that, and hopefully this will give us somewhat of a conclusive answer. If not, we'll have to dig a little deeper and do an actual compression test and other stuff like that. But this will be a good start. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick this on the front pulley of the eccentric shaft. Alright, cool. So then, as I turn it clockwise, I should get some pulses. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. I feel like they might have been a little too spaced out. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to see that. So, I just spun the engine around a couple times. That one time you guys saw on camera, I got 3 pulses, but I felt like it took a long time to get there. So off camera, I actually put both hands on there. I wanted to have one actually next to the spark plug holes, just feeling to see if there's any pulses coming out of them. And well, I found something. I was turning the engine and I could feel pulses coming out of the rear rotor housing, but not the front. So at this point, I can pretty safely say that my front rotor has 0 compression. So yeah, we're gonna have to pull this thing. We're gonna have to pull this thing and basically diagnose to see if there's anything inside that's fucked up, what seals are fucked up, and hopefully, you know, there's nothing wrong with the housings or the end plates, because that would be a bummer. That's gonna be the thing that takes this from like a $2,000 rebuild to like a $5,000 rebuild. And if that is the case, honestly, I'm probably just gonna buy a new engine, because I do not want to go through the trouble of getting different housings and all that kind of stuff if I'm just gonna be making stock power. So I guess we're gonna have to start pulling this thing apart. Kind of sucks, but it'll be fun. Alright guys, so now that I have a conclusive answer, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the video right here. Thanks for watching. If you guys are still here, I appreciate you. And if you guys are new, consider subscribing. I'm always down to share more of this stuff with you guys. We got a bunch more projects coming up, especially now that I made that bet with Michael. I can't lose that. So we're gonna have some cool content coming out. So, you know, come chill, subscribe. What you just said again? Be specific.
If your goddamn black RX-7 ever runs, I will eat my shoe. I'll cook it in the oven, seasonings, and eat it. Whatever shoe I own at that time.
It has to be the grubbiest one you own.
Alright.
Okay.
Old 90s.
Okay.